I received an unexpected and very special package in the mail this week. I found out that my wife has been scheming with my friend Steven behind my back. But I can't be too mad about it because what I received is this beautiful handmade wooden meat mallet that Steven made himself. He's a very creative guy and actually features a ton of his projects on his Instagram page. So I'll put a link down below so that you can go check it out. When I saw the mallet, I right away knew that I had to change up my recording schedule and make a video where I was using this brand new beautiful tool, and there was one recipe that came to mind immediately: schnitzel. We're going to use this mallet to pound the meat nice and thin, and while a schnitzel typically is made with veal, we'll be making it with chicken instead. Hi, I'm Toine. Welcome to my kitchen. If you're new to this channel, I focus on cooking food from my home country, the Netherlands, and some of its former colonies, such as Indonesia. Today, we are making schnitzel. And while schnitzel isn't a traditional Dutch dish, it is actually from Austria, we eat it quite frequently. My mom used to just buy it at the butcher, and we would eat it with a little wedge of lemon and some potatoes and vegetables. Traditionally, schnitzel is made with veal cutlets. We are making it with chicken breast. That's just the way we prefer it. To make schnitzel, you'll need the following ingredients: 1 egg, salt and pepper, 40 grams of flour, all-purpose, 75 grams of plain breadcrumbs, we're using panko, and 400 grams of chicken. You will also need some olive oil and some butter for frying them in. I've put the chicken breast in between 2 sheets of plastic wrap, and I'm now going to use the mallet to flatten it until it is less than ½ centimeter thick. So the trick is that you don't just smash it, but you actually try to smash and push it out a little bit, and you should end up with a nice thin piece of chicken. All right, we're all done. The chicken breast is nicely flattened. Steven, your mallet works very well. Thank you. Now that I'm done pounding out the first chicken breast, I'm going to put it in cold water and let it soak for 5 to 10 minutes. While I'm doing that, I'll be pounding out the second piece and also putting it in the water. The reason that we are soaking the chicken in the water before we bread it actually is to make it so that when the chicken breast hits the hot pan, some of the water that will be absorbed by the chicken is going to steam out and laminate the crust away from the chicken, so that you get that typical Wiener Schnitzel crust that is actually somewhat loose and bubbled up from the meat. While the chicken is soaking in cold water, I have started setting up my breading stations. So left to right, flour, egg wash, and the breadcrumbs. And that's also the order in which I'll be using them. So for the eggs, it is egg, 10 milliliters or 2 teaspoons of oil, and some salt and pepper. And I'm going to beat it up with a fork until everything is thoroughly combined. Making egg slurry. I have taken the chicken out of the water, patted it completely dry, and then seasoned both sides with salt and pepper. And now it's time to start breading them. So first, you take a piece of chicken and you cover it with the flour. You don't need a ton of it, just enough to actually make the egg wash stick, and the egg wash is going to make the bread stick. It's like a fantastic symbiosis of ingredients. Just like that. And now put it into the breadcrumbs. Push it down. You really want those breadcrumbs to stick to the chicken. And normally they always say keep one hand wet and one hand dry. Since I'm only doing 2 pieces, I'm not that particular about it, but if you're doing a ton of it, you probably want to follow that advice. All right, so here we go. First piece of chicken, breaded. Time for the second piece. In the flour. When you get a traditional Wiener Schnitzel in Austria, it is typically so large and so pounded out that it falls over the edges of your plate. I don't think that these pieces of chicken will do that, but that is how a typical Wiener Schnitzel will look when you get it in a restaurant. Okay, egg wash time. It looks like we got just the right amount of egg because we've used it up completely. All right. It's time to start frying up the schnitzels, and I have my station set up over here. I have the chicken schnitzels ready, my pan on the right hand side, a cookie sheet with paper towel on it and an inverted rack, and that is where I will put the schnitzels after they come out of the oil. So we are going to fill the pan with enough oil to cover a little less than an inch of the bottom of the pan. I do a combination of olive oil and butter that supposedly increases the smoke point, but I actually like the flavor that the butter adds. We are going to add our butter to it, and we are turning on over medium-high heat. And I'm actually going to use my infrared thermometer to see if the oil hits about 350, 360 degrees before I put the chicken in. So while the oil is heating up, you will see this kind of bubbling. That is the moisture that isn't fat from the butter bubbling out. We're going to put the first piece of chicken in. Be careful, put it in very, very gently. And this is definitely one of those things where you cannot put 2 pieces in at once. You also want to make sure that it never sticks to the pan, so always keep it just moving a little bit. And we're just going to do it 2 to 3 minutes on each side. This is a shallow fry, not a deep fry. And we're just going to let it sit, keep moving the pan so it doesn't stick. And after 2 minutes, I'm gonna flip it around and then we'll cook the other side. The chicken is so thin, it really doesn't need very long. Okay, so 2 minutes is over. Let's turn it around. Okay, wonderful. And we're gonna let it go for 3 minutes. And again, keep the pan in motion to make sure that the chicken does not stick. And because there is just enough oil in there to kind of get to the top, when you move it around like this, you end up kind of basting the top, so you're still cooking the top of the chicken as well. And it's starting to look and smell fantastic. Okay, that was 3 minutes, so this is done. And let's take it out. You can feel that it's really, really crispy, and it looks the perfect color. So I'm actually gonna lower the flame right now, and then I'm going to scoop out some of the kind of crumbs and some of this dark brown stuff before I bring it back to temperature and put the second piece of chicken in. Okay, this chicken has had some time to cool off. Schnitzel is typically served with lemon and parsley. I'm going to squeeze a little lemon juice on top, and then we'll be tasting it. Chicken is beautifully cooked. Eet Smakelijk. This is delicious. The outside is crunchy. The inside is still tender. It is perfectly seasoned. The lemon juice over it just cuts a little bit of that fried flavor. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to finish the rest of this plate. So while I made it with chicken today, and it's absolutely delicious, if you want to make the traditional version, just use a veal cutlet instead of chicken. Everything else is the same. Because you pound it so thin, it will cook just as quick as this chicken. Stephen, I want to thank you again for the beautiful mallet. It worked great, and I am looking forward to using it for years to come. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. If you have any questions or comments about this recipe, please leave me a note in the comment section below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.